There are some things in life that remain as constant as the northern star. A little quote there from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, as constant as the northern star. One such thing is mopping a ride. You see, mopping a ride was there long ago. We used to mop ride on donkey cart. And even when we have all the fancy cars today, people are still mopping a ride. And when we were ready to go to school or to go to work, it was time to mop a ride. Well, we had different ways of saying it. You could mop a ride, you bum a ride, you poop a ride. Same thing. Same thing. Some people just prefer to say, well, boy, I pooping a ride today. Boy, there was a fella, he was so brave. Guy from Grenville Street, St. George's. He once tried to poop a ride on a bicycle, a man bicycle. You know, he ended up mashing up the man bicycle, mashing up the back wheel. Big, fat guy like him want to poop a ride on a bicycle. Some people used to mop a ride on a Janet truck. Well, the Janet trucks came after Hurricane Janet because they had to clear out all them roads and things, and debris all over the road, the trees and so on. So they had these big Janet trucks to drive all over the place. Boy, the frightening thing was when a Janet truck rumbling through the Sandal Tunnel and you in there, you had to squeeze against the wall for the truck to pass. A big Janet truck. But people used to poop rides on Janet trucks, banana trucks. When the guys used to be riding on the trucks, they used to call them banana jockey. When the banana brick coming down from the boxing plant. You ever heard of the boxing plant? Down to the pier. And we used to get a lot of bananas, you know. When we lived in St. George's, they used to call them rejects. They didn't want to send them to England. They were rejected. So they were sort of free, many times free. You get bananas. So yes. So people mop ride on Janet trucks, banana trucks, Land Rovers. The Land Rovers are good for the estate owners, because Land Rovers, they move through all the rugged terrain. So the Land Rovers were very good for them. And of course, there were some who used to mop rides on motorbikes. Well, during the 1970s, boy, these women, they love to mop rides on motorbikes. And them fellas, boy, they used to be in donkey heaven, when the woman rode behind them on the motorbike and squeezed them tight. They can't get a squeeze easy sometimes, but the women are scared when they rode on a motorbike. So they used to squeeze them tight, sitting behind those guys on the bike. And them fellas used to be happy. And what about the fancy ways of pooping rides, of mopping rides? I used to like to see how they did it, boy. Some just stood on the sidewalk. They crossed their legs, pointed their thumbs in the direction where the vehicle was going. They said a word, not a word. They just pointed their thumb, they pointed their hand, and you were supposed to stop. Others just jump in the vehicle without even asking a question. And they were bold enough to say, drop me down there. You know, and then the lazy people, Yes, some people, the lazy. Lord Kitchener, the Trinidadian Calypsonian, sang a song about Carnival Day. People don't like to walk, but on Carnival Day, they walk 1,000 miles. Well, walking behind the big truck. But usually, they're taking a bus from here to there. But on Carnival Day, man, they'll walk 100 miles, 1,000 miles perhaps. So come back to a lazy person, a lazy fella. He bought a ride from a seaman when you see men, this is here on the waterfront, workers building, union building on the Coronage. You know the man bomb arrived from there to Rennick and Thompson, a few yards away. Could you believe that? Could you believe that? When I see children looking for bus on the bottom of by the bus, where the buses park up by Maple Street, looking for a bus to go up to St. Joseph Convent and Presentation Brothers College. Boy, we used to have to walk that. I met a guy in a week recently, and I told him, I said, boy, he said, you remember me? I said, I remember you. You're from Belmont. And I remember when you used to walk, when school, the recess, lunchtime, lunch break, you used to walk from Palmer School on top Canash Hill all the way down to Paddock. And you used to walk so fast, all people see your short tail flying around corner. What do you mean if I remember you, boy? You was a walker with he was such a big, big laugh. He didn't mop no ride. He didn't bomb no ride. All he did was walk. But I want to tell you about the greatest mopping feat that ever happened, that happened in Grenada. And that was done by a fella from River Road. I ain't called any name. But he holds a record. You know the man mop a ride on a plane. He mop a ride on a plane from St. Vincent to Grenada. That is the only man and the only Grenadian I know mop a ride from St. Vincent to Grenada. Don't ask me how he do that, eh? Don't ask me how he do that. Well, one time I saw him posing off on a man's car on the Coronage, and he was sitting there in style, you know, waiting for the man to return. And he was brave. You know, he offered me a ride in a man's car. Boy, we good in the class, you know. We really good in the class. Now, some people got their rides, eh? But sometimes when you get the rides, somebody will stop and give you a ride. But be prepared for the speeches from the drivers. Because you get a ride and you'll get some speeches. You remember of a certain man in Brooklyn? He used to love to cook food, boy, and he inviting all them partners and all them fellas, girls and boys, and hey, come and eat, man, come and eat. When he set the plate of food in front of you, you're getting a speech, you know. You're glad you know me, yeah? You're glad you know me, yeah? And don't hurt yourself now. And somebody asks him, well, how come you're not eating? You think I stupid to eat that? It's me that cook that. I ain't stupid to eat that. So you had to be prepared for the speeches that you might get when you bomb a ride. What were some of those words that knocked your eardrums? Listen to this. Man, wipe your damn foot before you come to the car, eh? Wipe your damn foot. Where the hell you going with all that mud? Eh? Where you going with all that mud? You only pooping. You only bombing ride. Eh? Is me and you that buy this car? What happened? Is me and you that buy it? You want ride? You want ride? No, you're begging me for a ride. When I asked you to pick your breadfruit the other day, you remember what you tell me? But now you ask me for a ride. Man, move your tail from there. And watch, this is a new car, eh? This is a new car. Don't blame my blasted car, though. Don't blame my car, though. And finally, you hear this also. You know something? Nothing like a free ride, you know. This car run on gas and oil. There's no such thing as a free ride. So you have to hear all that just for a little ride. And again, just to bring back what I said before, we like to use different words for that. Reiterate. And then, well, of course, the English version and the American version. Reiterate and reiterate. Well, they was confused, you know, with these words that they gave us, route and you know, you don't know which one to say sometimes, because that's when you're educated both in the English and American system. Favor, F-A-V-O-R, and F-A-V-O-U-R, It's a lot of confusion, a lot of confusion. But do as my uncle who passed away, and I don't call names. And when he said, boy, I'm a populous man, you know. I'm a populous man. And his wife got mad. She said, where the hell you get that word from? They know what that's populous. He said, don't tell me nothing, man. When I drink my class coat, I say any damn thing. Don't tell me nothing. Give the man a chance, eh? See what you want. Anthony Wendell the Riggs. Mopping a ride. Bombing a ride. Pooping a ride. Same thing. Poop a ride on a boat. And if the boat capsized, you'll have to say like Justin Crow McBoney, do you know swimiology? And if you don't know swimiology, well, your whole life gone. God bless. God bless. God bless.